Domestic violence is the single greatest health risk for Victorian women, representing a larger share of deaths for women aged 15 to 44 than smoking, drinking, and illicit drug use combined. Studies show that at least 1 in 5 women are subject to domestic violence at some stage of their life. Domestic violence costs the Victorian economy over $8 billion per annum. Each of these facts is unsettling in isolation, and together they demonstrate a major problem in Australian society. Given the scale of the problem, governmental attention is severely lacking. The causes and forms of domestic violence are complex and varied, but key enabling factors include limited economic agency for women and insufficient government support services. Domestic violence is more prevalent on city fringes than in city centres, with both of these enabling factors exacerbated by car-dependent suburban design. Women are overwhelmingly the victims of domestic violence, are generally more dependent on public transport for travel to and from work, and, especially in abusive circumstances, have limited access to a family car. Due to the challenge of providing public transport to outer Melbourne, and the difficulty of navigating the outer suburbs of Melbourne without a car, women on the fringes are more vulnerable to domestic violence. This vulnerability could be addressed in part by putting a brake on Melbourne's urban expansion in favour of fully servicing new suburbs, but this observation highlights the reason these underserviced suburbs are being created. Melbourne is currently growing by approximately 100,000 people per annum, demanding a steady supply of new housing stock, most of which is homogeneous and targeted at dual-income households. Melburnians have historically opposed development in and increasing the density of the inner suburbs. This opposition to a medium-density inner pushes 75% of these 100,000 people to the outskirts, where government cannot effectively provide the services necessary to lower rates of domestic violence. In order to reduce the rates of domestic violence, government must balance the needs for greater housing variety, better transport connections, and accessible services with the need for new housing stock.